Welcome everyone to Discourse. That's Retha.
This is Tony.
And today we're going to talk about P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han.
All the track stations are ready.
All right, so I haven't read this book. Apparently this is book 2 in a 3-part series. Retha explained the first book to me. I passed on reading it, so now she's going to try to explain this book to me. And maybe I'll read it if I find it interesting. So this book is part 2. Her and who is in love now? There's two people, because at the end of book 1, she falls in love with somebody, right?
I mean, she ends up with Peter Kavinsky.
That's it. So her and Peter Kavinsky are together in this book, right? So before we get into it, is she recruited by the CIA in this one?
No.
Okay. Does she pick up some kind of like weapons training?
No. Stop. Why?
So are there just, a checklist of things that I just want to make sure are either in or not in this book? Vampires?
No.
Werewolves?
No.
Shirtless men that she then has sex with?
No.
So nobody dies.
Not in this book. Next one.
So she's not recruited by the CIA.
No.
She doesn't assassinate anyone.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm probably not going to read this book.
Well, you should have after the first time we talked about this with the first book.
So she's still in love with Peter Kavinsky in this book.
No. So they're actually not together at the end of book 1. And book 2 starts up where it's Korean New Year. So their family's having, they're celebrating. And that's when she's going to get back with Peter Kavinsky. That's the very beginning of the second book.
It's like a family gathering. So she's got a bunch of her family.
Yeah.
Okay. And then how does she use this opportunity to get back with Peter? Convince him that she's in love with him? Because she's in love with him, right? And now, so she needs to find a way to secretly tell him? Why can't she just tell him?
No, it's not secretly. I mean, she thinks about things on the drive after, the gathering with her family. And she ends up at Peter's house and kind of just tells him, like, I really like you, not like I fake like you. Like, I really like you.
Oh, because in the first one, they were pretending to like each other.
Because they were pretending. So
and now she's like, for realies.
Yeah, for reals, I really like you. Because even for him, like, he really falls in love with her. She really falls in love with him. But because it was such a weird beginning for them in their relationship, that real feelings emerged. And it's like, well, I'm not allowed to have those feelings because we were just pretending. But they really, weren't. So at the beginning of the second book, she just kind of admits, like, I really do like you, and I'm pretty sure she knows that he likes her too, so they kind of confirm that, and then they start to...
So this is a moment where she's looking for him to admit that he loves her, and she wants to admit it.
That they're both on the same page.
So you said she ends up at his house? How does she end up there? Does she have like teleportation powers?
No, she's driving back with her family.
Oh, okay.
And
so she's
her dad drops her off at his house.
Does her dad know what he's dropping her off for? So he drops her off at this house and he's like, go profess your love. You're fine. You 15-year-old girl.
No, I think with her dad, because he has 3 girls and he's been a single father ever since their mother passed away. He's kind of had to...
So he's fine with one of them probably getting murdered?
No.
He's like, 3's too many.
No.
I need to get rid of
Take one. No, I think that he knows his girls. He knows that they're good.
Does he know Peter Kavinsky? Like, he might be a serial killer.
No, because the kids grew up together, he knows pretty much all the kids that she goes to school with, that they all go to school with, because they kind of grew up together and he's been around them. And also, he's an OBGYN, so I'm pretty sure he's been there. Maybe with some of their births. Who knows?
Oh,
it's never talked about.
Probably. I was going to say, he's rummaged around in vaginas before. He has plenty of knowledge.
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, so they're at the house. She professes her love. Does he also say that he loves her, and then they get together and they live happily ever after?
Eventually. But there's other things that happen. John Ambrose McLaren, he shows up in the second book, and...
What is the need for these 3 names? Like, why can't we just call him John?
Well, she does call him John, but...
He needs to be called John Ambrose McLaren?
That's his name. And actually, she calls him John Ambrose, and they have, like, remember in the first book, it was like a thing where she thought he also had 2 first names, but he didn't.
Oh, okay.
He kind of just let people believe it because it was like they had something in common. There's more of him in the second book, and she starts to have feelings for him. And
Whoa, wait a minute. So what happened to Peter Kavinsky?
So, like I said, she's writing all these letters. She really has feelings, deep feelings for each of these individual guys. So now that they are kind of aware of her and her feelings, they're coming back into her life, and now they're kind of like, well, yeah, I liked you too. Now we're older.
So nobody like admitted their feelings? Like
No.
everybody was just completely shut off, and at this moment where she happened to write secret letters, and those secret letters happened to go out, now everybody's coming back.
They're
To
coming
good
back.
old Laura, because she's got
Lara.
feelers. So
Lara
now
Jean.
it's a love triangle between these three people?
Yes, Twilight stuff going on.
So I told you somebody's a vampire, right?
No, nobody's
So
a
one of
vampire.
them becomes a vampire?
No, no one's a vampire. But there is some Halloween like dress up in
Ooh,
this
nice.
book.
Mysticism, some magic?
No.
Is she a witch?
No, her and her next door neighbor Josh, they dress up in Harry Potter costumes, which is super cool.
Okay.
And it was supposed to be
And that's as close to witchcraft
magic
as we
and-
get.
Yes,
right?
that's as close
This
as
is
you
not
get.
like part 3 of The Craft.
No. John Ambrose, he shows up. They start to get to know each other and talk.
Oh, because in the first one, they didn't get to know each other that much.
They knew each other from when they were younger, but then he moved away.
Okay.
So he's been out of her life for about 5 years.
So is he back at the same school? Like they're now all going back to the same high school?
No, he goes to a different high school. He ends up meeting her really quickly at one of those what are the debate things?
It's called a debate. Huh?
What are those called? God, it says it in there, but anyways, one of those debate things. He's gonna find it like that. Just pick it up and find it.
There is a lot of spacing in this book.
Yeah.
So this
There's
book,
a fast read.
it seems long, but it's not
Nah, it's like really like
dense.
maybe
Yeah, there's huge
I don't
margins.
know, 200 pages.
It's big spacing, 12-point font. Yeah, I can get through this book in probably a week if I cared to.
Yeah,
So-
I finished these books within a week,
Yeah.
just fast.
Is
But
it normal for young adult novels to be so short?
I mean,
this
not
is not
necessarily.
exceptionally short, but with the big spacing, it's only 300 pages. So
not necessarily. I feel like when I read Twilight, they were like one or two of the books were like 500 or 600 pages.
oh, but Twilight's pretty dense, though, right?
Yeah,
It's like a Bible essentially.
maybe for some. Yes. So she ends up seeing John Ambrose at a UN debate
yeah,
or whatever
the
it is.
debate.
And they see each other really quickly because he's involved. She's just there like as an onlooker. And she sees him and she just says quickly like, hey, hi, and he's kind of like taken aback. And then
You always
after
make her seem
that,
very creepy. She's there as like a gawker. She's just like sitting there looking at men
well, she kind of
that she
wanted,
wants to fall in love
she
with.
knew he would be there because he was into that before he moved away. So she was kind of thinking, oh, maybe he'll be here at this event. I'll go see if he's there. And if he's there,
So
I
she
can
was
see how he
stalking
ended out. No, well, yeah, kind of.
See?
Just to kind of see
She's
how
a
he turned
stalker.
out. And then later on, this book is different from the movies, being that in the book, John Ambrose is the grandson of Stormy, which is another one of my most favorite characters.
Stormy
She's a-
Daniels?
Stormy, no.
Stormy Daniels is in this book?
No.
That's amazing. So
No.
Donald Trump paid off Stormy Daniels. So she left and then decided to go to some small town
No.
and raise her nephew?
No, her grandson. I think it's her great grandson. I'm not sure. Anyways,
Does her grandson know like her past?
yeah.
She
But
knows
not
that she
that
had sex
she's
with
Stormy
Donald Trump?
Daniels.
Oh, okay.
No, but Stormy
So
is
she's hiding that
an
past.
interesting character. No, she is a very interesting character. She's one of my favorites. She's one of those typical, like, really old, cool, hip ladies that live their lives to the fullest and is not ashamed to say it. And she lives it up still to her being super old till her death, and she's super fashionable and classy and just awesome. So she
This
ends up...
sounds pretty close to Stormy Daniels.
It's not her.
Okay. I'm gonna have to double check.
So she lives at like this retirement home for, elderly, and Lara Jean ends up volunteering there. And that's when she sees the connection between Stormy and John Ambrose. And then they sort of have like a moment in time where she goes to visit, and it's called Bellevue, and it starts to snow. So she can't go back home, and it's getting late. So she needs to spend the night there.
Of course,
and it just so happens that John Ambrose is also there. And they kind of spend the night together, but they're not like sleeping together. They kind of just like go out and have like a, I don't know, to me it felt like a really innocent moment, like in the snow.
So, but nothing happens there.
Right. No,
Other than
happens.
like growing of feelings, nothing physical
Right.
happens.
Nothing happens.
They leave, and now she has to deal with his conflicting emotions about which guy she likes.
Exactly. So she's kind of torn a little bit. And even in the book, she says that one of the letters was more, like she cared a little bit more for one guy in particular.
So does she ever come to some arrangement with these two guys that she can date both of them at the same time?
No,
They're not open to that?
No, but Peter Kavinsky, after, because they don't get back together right away. I think they talk about
wait
it
a minute.
or
So
something.
does Peter and John Ambrose like fight?
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah?
I can stick around and help clean up.
No, I think I can help my girlfriend clean up.
Kind of, sort of.
Okay,
They
it's
have
getting
like
interesting now. I might read this book.
They clash.
Point me to the fighting scene.
They do clash a little bit.
So it's like John Woo style fighting?
What?
Hi.
What is going on in that head of yours?
I didn't want to be thinking about what might have been, but I was. Nobody compares to you. Nobody.
That would have been.
Wait, isn't
Awesome,
Peter Kavinsky like into sports?
I was just gonna say probably Peter Kavinsky would have been down.
So
but
is John
no,
Ambrose like kind of ripped, like into sports?
No.
Like who do you think would win in a fight, John Ambrose or Peter Kavinsky?
Peter Kavinsky.
He would win like hands down, or it would be a close like 3 rounds. It goes to judges and they have to decide.
Hands down.
Yeah, knockout.
Yeah.
Wow.
Knockout.
Okay.
I don't know about a knockout, but maybe. No, so they clash a little bit, and Peter Kavinsky, he tells Lara Jean, like, hey, you know what? I see you're with him, but I'm gonna win you back. Like,
Okay, challenge accepted.
yeah, exactly. Like, he's basically saying, like, I deserve you and I'm gonna prove it. You know?
All right. This
Yeah.
girl's got game. That's what I'm saying.
You know, it's funny
She's got
because
these guys scrapping for her. and
exactly.
stuff.
I feel like in the book, she's just so innocent. She's totally oblivious to the dating world and boys and all this stuff. But she just, I don't know if she's just that of an amazing person. She's just irresistible to these guys,
Yeah,
and they're
very.
just like falling over themselves and beating each other up over her. So
Going towards the end of the book, do they say who she ends up with? Does she pick one?
she, has her moment with John Ambrose, which he's an amazing person. They have so much in common. And it would be just, like she says in the book, it would just be so easy for her to fall in love with him and be with him forever. Because I feel like in reality, like she could marry him and that'd be it. She'd have
Right.
a wonderful
She'd be
life.
happy.
He's an amazing person.
What about Peter Kavinsky?
But Peter Kavinsky, he also deserves her though. It's like
Right.
something I go back and forth
So
with
is
in
it
my
that
mind.
like John Ambrose is more of a nice guy and should be happy, and Peter
He's
Kavinsky
nice.
is more of like the
He's
rugged type
smart.
that would challenge her?
But Peter Kavinsky, he's okay. Maybe he doesn't have, A pluses in all of his classes and like this genius or something like that. But he has a heart and
Why do
he
you
is
keep
smart.
bringing
And
Peter Kavinsky down? Okay, you keep
That's my
mentioning how
point.
dumb he is.
so that's my
Jeez.
point. Because through the books too, you're kind of like, ugh, this jock, and he kind of irritates you. But what it is, he calls her on her shit, which is something you need in a relationship. You don't want to have like that evenness, that boringness, because it becomes old, it becomes stale. When you have someone like Lara Jean, who is very smart, on top of her game, things like that, and then you have Peter Kavinsky, who just compliments her so well, and he's smart in his own way, and he is very caring, and I feel like they definitely have a connection and can last over time. It's just they're just so young.
So you're saying the reason why I've been married so long is because I piss off my wife every other day. I challenge her, and it keeps things interesting. you
But
know?
there's something to that. There really is, because after a while, you don't want to have the same conversations.
So
with
if we
someone.
have another argument, I'm going to blame it on you. Retha told me that we should fight every other day.
Definitely
to
not
keep
what I'm
things
saying.
Spicy.
Spicy. No, definitely not what I'm saying.
No?
But I think it's important to have a partner who can tell you when you're being a dumbass and, you know, really call you out and be like, hey, shape up. I know you're better than
So
this.
should I tell my
you
wife
know?
that she's just being a dumbass, like in general, or should there be a specific reason?
No, like when someone is being, you know, ridiculous, be like, hey,
I feel
what's
like you're
going
going to
on?
get me in a lot of trouble. This is not good advice.
No, because I appreciate it when my husband does that for me. Because I'm just like, you know what? You're right.
So he's
And I need to.
so he's your Peter Kavinsky, is what you're saying?
Yes, he's my Peter Kavinsky.
Aw.
Mm-hmm.
So how does this book end? Like what
So
does it leave
they-
you on a cliffhanger? Because there's 3
No.
books. This is the second one.
It's not really a cliffhanger, but it kind of is because you already know there's going to be a third book. So Lara Jean and Peter Kavinsky, they finally come together and they just kind of tell each other, like, listen, let's not break each other's hearts again. Like, let's do this for real. Like, let's give our 100% into this
Yeah, man,
relationship.
let's
like,
be
let's do
madly
this.
in love together.
Yeah, pretty
That's what I'm
much.
saying.
Yeah.
Let's get tattoos of each other's faces on our backs.
Oh, our bags. Okay. Oh, that's funny you say that. In the first movie, Peter Kavinsky kind of says, like, to Lara Jean, like, if you don't tell me the truth about this or whatever, I'm going to think you have a tattoo of my face on your ass. Like some creepy stalker.
So it doesn't end on a cliffhanger? How does it end?
No, it ends with them saying, you know what, like, let's go all in with this relationship.
And they agree? They're all in?
And they agree. And it's super cute. And
What happens to John Ambrose? Does he know about this?
Yeah, he kind of gets it that she chose him.
Is he upset about that?
From the feeling that I got
let
from
me
this,
guess. So she falls in love with Peter Kavinsky.
Mm-hmm.
John Ambrose joins the military, picks up some weapon skills, gets sent to Iraq, now has PTSD, must come back. He flips out every now and then. She's got to go back to John Ambrose to help him recover from his wounds from the war. And in doing so, they fall in love.
This sounds like one of those Sparks movies, or
Nicholas Sparks.
yeah, Nicholas Sparks. Like,
So are you saying that doesn't happen?
no, no, that would be Nicholas Sparks' book. What?
So this is a Netflix movie, or at least the first book was a Netflix movie, right?
Yeah, actually, they're all going to be Netflix movies. And the movies, they change it up. Like in the movies, John Ambrose isn't related to Stormy. They end up volunteering both at Bellevue to put on like college applications, things like that. So they change it a bit for the movie, which it works perfectly for movies, and it's fine. But like for me, I watched the movies and read the books kind of all at the same time. So it's hard to differentiate like between what happened here, what happened there, but it's essentially the same thing.
So you still recommend the book?
For sure. I mean, I love these series. I finished them within a week, and people really hate on young adult books
I don't know why.
and romance books.
I don't know why.
No, but they really do have a lot of content, and it's good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a good young adult
There's
book.
nothing wrong. So you can imagine, like, if you ever came to my house and saw me curled up in the corner with a book, and I had like a tear rolling down my eye, you'd be perfectly fine with it. You'd be like, he's reading romance.
He's reading romance. No, I would say, wow, you are expanding your mind, and that's fabulous. I mean, you don't need to read a book that is going to be like transcend your mind, and this is good. It's great. I feel like the characters, like I said before, for the first book, the characters are real. I feel like the things that she puts in the books, like the dialogue and the situations and the different things they do, it's real life. I could relate to it for sure. And then also, what I really want to talk about is the character Stormy, because she really builds her character a lot in the second book. She's an amazing character.
Is she now?
She reminds me of like some of the ladies at Nana's old folks home.
Or at our grandma's old folks home?
Yeah.
You mean crazy old bats with strange stories that they want to tell you over and over again?
The best. They snap at each other and call each other names. There's drama.
Almost every one of my love affairs overlapped with another one.
There's just all kinds of just
There's old
crazy
lady
gossip
drama. So there's teen drama in here, and there's old lady drama.
thrown in there. And it's fabulous because if you have an elderly person in your life, you know that to be true, that they love bingo, they love gossip, they love all the drama, and it's just so
They
exciting to be a
love
part
the
of.
drama.
Yes. And she's just an amazing character. She's just, witty and, not ashamed to say anything. And you really start to really love her. And then,
How old is she? Like 90?
I don't know. I don't think it says. I think she's like in her 80s. She's amazing. Oh, I love it. Oh, also in the book, they start to get her dad interested in dating again.
Oh, because her dad's single. Her mom died.
Exactly. Because they see that
So
he's
her dad,
lonely.
did her dad write secret love letters and put them in a box?
No, but Lara Jean does try to set him up like a dating profile online.
On a dating app? He's on Tinder? Ew.
But that doesn't end up, going through. He ends up dating the neighbor across the street.
Oh, good
who
old-fashioned
compliments him so
proximity.
well.
You don't need the internet.
Yeah.
Just take whoever's closest to you.
Hey, come over here. Let's get married.
So, and they start to be a really cute couple. And so there's some drama there because they're not used to having a woman in the house, like a mother figure.
Oh, a mother figure. I was
The
going to say
mother
there's a bunch
figure-
of girls running around.
The mother figure used to be the oldest daughter, which was Margot, but she's been off to college. So whenever she does start to
Oh,
visit
wait, so
back,
Margot was in the first book, right? But she's not in the second book? She's in
a
college?
little bit, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's mostly
Did
like
she take her boyfriend with her?
no, she dumped him.
That dude that caused all the drama in
Josh?
the first book, he got
Yeah.
dumped?
Yeah, she dumped him.
What is he doing now? Is he working at the Dairy Queen? Is he eating too much ice cream and now he's
Getting
fat?
fat.
Nobody cares about him?
No, she breaks it off with him because her mother told her, you should never go to college with a boyfriend because you want to live your life. You kind of want to be open and free to do new things, try new things.
Wow. Do you think that's true?
I mean, for some people it is. For some people it isn't.
So if you have a high school boyfriend that you are in love with, you guys get along great, but you're going to college, you give that the chop. Because in college, everything's different.
Well, which could be true, but I mean, everybody's different,
Okay, but do you think that's true? Would you tell your girls, if you have a boyfriend, drop him like a sack of potatoes if you're going to college?
No, I would say, do what you feel is right. If you really care about someone, then you would do the long distance relationship. You would make it work. You would do what you have to do because falling in love, it doesn't happen every day. And if it's someone that you really truly love and care about,
It doesn't?
regardless of your age, if you love them, you love them. So you're going to make it work. And if it doesn't work, you tried and that's it. But if you feel like, hey, I need to go to college, a free bird, go fly. Fly bird free, go.
I don't know. I don't know about that true love
Why not?
statement you made. Because I was really in love with some...
Stop. A bologna sandwich? We know.
No, I was really in love with this rice pudding I had just yesterday, okay? And then it left me. I looked in the cup, it was gone.
Because you
had
ate
abandoned me.
Because you ate it. You took too
And
much.
I moved on.
You took too much from the love. Didn't give any back.
Now
there
I'm
you
into
go.
chocolate pudding.
So with Margot and the new woman coming in, because she's been off to college and she comes back here and there for a little bit of time, she starts to clash with her. But it's good for her dad to have a partner,
What about her little sister? What does her little sister do? I remember in book 1 you said you really liked her little sister.
So in book 2, she's around quite a bit, obviously, because she's still at home with Lara Jean, and she starts to really gain her own connection and relationship with Peter Kavinsky because he has a little brother who's her age. So I feel like,
They build a friendly relationship.
Exactly. I think she does kind of have a little crush on him, but all in all, it's a very innocent type of friendly relationship, like you said. I mean, Peter Kavinsky just fits in so well into her life.
Well, I'll tell you what, you have convinced me to never read this book.
All the tank stations are ready.